Hello, everyone. I'm gonna wait and build an audience. Hope you're having a fabulous week thus far. Happy Monday. We will get started at approximately 7:03. We'll just give a couple of people a chance to jump on, and we will get ready to start our third Monday. I hope you guys are having a fabulous Monday. I myself am having a absolutely fabulous Monday because we had an open position at my job, guys. I'm hiring a benefits manager, and Facebook, y'all found my benefits manager. Ooh, she is coming in for her second interview tomorrow, and if all goes well, we are going to offer her a position, and I am so excited. The power of the network of Facebook has come through for me. Thank you guys for sharing out the position when I announced it online that it was open. So I really, really appreciate that. And I am just glad to be able to offer somebody in our network, somebody that's in our family, an opportunity to advance herself. So that's fantastic. Um, the song that you guys hear in the background, let me know if you can hear the song. The song is called Beautiful by BJ Putnam. It is absolutely one of my favorite songs. And while we are waiting for the audience to build, I thought I'd share this song with you. So I'll let it play for a little while we give people an opportunity to hop on and get the information. Thank you guys for joining. Hello, Joy. I'm glad to see you tonight. Get a boys a kiss for me. Hey, Shaka, Courtney, Alicia. My cousin Ladell is on here. Hi, cousin. How you doing, Dominique? Tanya, my homie. Hello. Hello, Miss Sherry. Hannah, I love you. Always will. How you doing, Elder Tony? Good to see you tonight. How you doing, Miss Betty? Shakira, I think I saw Shakira's name on here too. Dominique, I don't know if I said your name. Hello, Dominique. Hey, Aura. Hello, Miss Aura. Hello, Andre. Nice to see you guys. Andre, your son is doing big things on campus. I'm so super proud of my nephew. Hello, Michelle. Those cookies were fantastic. Thank you so much for those cookies. I couldn't even keep them to myself. The office was trying to take my cookies, Michelle. Hello, Curtis. Tell my sister Devin I said hello. I am so super proud of her and all of the work that she does on behalf of the community. All right, guys, we're going to jump right on in tonight. Again, thank you for joining us. Money Mondays. This is our third live stream. My name is Christina Anderson. As you guys know, the reason why my husband and I are doing this is because God brought us a mighty long way, honey. Let me tell you, we have been through it, and God has brought us through it. And God laid it on my heart to give all the information that I can possibly give to the people. He said, as it was freely given to me, freely give it to the people. So every week until God says otherwise, I'm going to hop on here at 7 p.m. and we're going to talk about money. Money, the basics of money, the information that everybody else has that they're not giving to our communities, and how to make purchases, how to make them smartly, how to use wisdom in all of our ways, how to get an understanding. The Bible says, in all of thy ways, get an understanding. That's not just with the word. That's not just with how to serve at church, but that's in all of our ways. And that includes in the way that we deal in the marketplace. So we've got to make sure that we have a good understanding and we're making wise choices. So from now until I'll be hopping on at 7 o'clock, and Chris and the boys will come and join when they get back from swim practice. How you doing, cousin? My big cousin Robert just joined. I love him. So how you doing, Robert? Good to see you tonight. Hi, Miss Denise and Tiffany. All right. So our topic tonight is budgeting basics. And everybody wave with me as we welcome the Black Money Matters family as they're joining us. We're also doing a live stream on the Black Money Matters page as well. If you have not liked the Black Money Matters page, hop over at some point in time and go ahead and like that page. We share information on economic empowerment for the Black community. We share information on how to protect ourselves and how to grow our economic power, how to grow our dollar as a community. Once again, I said it on the first stream, I'm going to say it again. As a community, we have trillions of dollars rolling in, but it all rolls back out in under 8 hours. That's less than a work day. Other communities, the money stays in their communities for a month. So we've got to figure out a way collectively how to keep our dollar longer and how to grow our economic strength, how to grow our power so that we are not slave to the lender, okay? The borrower is slave to the lender. We're coming out of that. We will no longer be slave to the lender, and we will start that by living a debt-free lifestyle, okay? The way you start living a debt-free lifestyle is by actually knowing where your money is going. It's a budget. People hate the word budget. I'm sorry you hate the word budget, but the reality is, even if you don't write a budget out, you have one. You just don't know what's in it. So it's best to know what's in your budget so that you can actually execute a plan, okay? The story and the word that kind of goes along with this the best is in Luke. So, I just want to make sure I give everybody like a foundation, a basis for what we're saying here. Luke says, suppose that you were going to build a tower. Wouldn't you first count up the cost to make sure you had enough money to complete it? The thing is, we're building financial towers every single week, every single day. We're building a financial tower. Your financial tower is your credit report, your debt history, your debt to income ratio, your net worth. All of that is your financial tower. And before you build that, you want to first write out the vision so that you can count up the cost to make sure that you can actually afford the purchases that you're making. So it's very, very important that we keep those biblical principles in mind and that we live within them. My niece just joined. I'm so proud of her. I love my baby. Hey, how you doing? And Christopher just joined us from the YMCA. So I'm very, very glad to see you guys. So let's get started. Budgets. First of all, let's defuse the emotion out of the word budget. Okay, it's a scary concept to some people just because they weren't taught how to do it. Don't be afraid of budgets. Budgets are necessary and they're super, super simple. Okay, in the last stream last week, I posted a couple of different online budgeting tools for you to try. They're Excel spreadsheets, super easy to fill out. Everybody's computer, everybody's cell phone has Excel. Okay, so you can go ahead and use that spreadsheet and start to fill it in. The homework from last week was to make yourself a basic budget skeleton outline. Several of you contacted me and told me that you did that in preparation for tonight's class. So I want to give you your kudos for doing the homework and getting your mindset together to get ready for this conversation tonight. Lexi, I want you to go ahead and do your budget too. See, my niece is young. She's in her, late teens, early 20s. I have a lot of nieces and nephews in that age range. And I'm so proud of her for joining on because you're never too young to start building your financial power. You're never too young to take control of your finances and to do what's in the best interest of you, your family, the rest of your life. Likewise, you're never too old to do it either. So I'm super duper proud of her right now for taking control of her financial destiny. Anywho, budgeting basics. So the first thing is you definitely need one, and use that link that I put in last week's feed. If you didn't get the link last week, I'll put it in the feed this week as well, okay? So you want to make sure that you list out everything in the budget, all right? So here's a couple of guidelines. Does everybody have a pen and a paper? because I want you to take notes on these guidelines. I told you guys after the first week, we're working in class. This is our class time. We've got pen, we've got paper, and we're going to write it down so that we actually have a plan to follow. Okay, so here's your first guideline as far as the budget is concerned. Your housing should be between 25 and 30% of your income. Okay, your housing should be between 25 and 30%. What do I mean by that? I mean your rent or your mortgage, how much you're writing out in that check or money order or however you're paying it, should be between 25 and 30% of your take-home pay. Next, giving. You always want to leave space in your budget to be a blessing to somebody else. Okay, I explained that to you guys last week. I feel very, very strongly about that, because if you are a blessing to somebody else, it opens the door for God to continue to bless you and to continue to trust you with more. Okay, the basics, standard guideline, the biblical principle that was set for giving is 10%. Okay, so the next line item on your budget is 10% for giving. Okay, after you've got the 25 to 30% for housing, you've got 10% for giving. Next is saving. Before you pay a bill, okay, before you pay a bill, you pay yourself. Okay, because at the end of the day, 50 years later, when you're not working anymore, who knows if Social Security is going to be there for the millennials and younger. Okay, so we need to be paying ourselves. So that next 10% is in saving. Okay, next, food. You got to eat. All right, food needs to be accounted for in your budget. Food should be 10% max, and I do mean max. Okay, so let's park a while and talk about food. Food includes breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, outings. Okay, if you got something coming up, you feeling kind of fancy, you feeling kind of fresh, you want to take your boo thing out on a date, that's included in food. Okay, that is not a separate line item. Lunch costs money. Lunch is high. I see y'all in the lines and going to the restaurants. I can't go with you because it costs too much. Okay, so the thing is, you need to plan your meals. And I know nobody wants to hear this, but meal prepping matters. Meal prepping is important, and you save money by preparing your meals at home and brown bagging your meals when you're going to work. So please don't get caught in the lunch trap. All right, every now and again, if you got a little extra change, I understand, but there is nothing wrong with brown bagging your lunch. Can I be honest with you? I brown bag my lunch literally every day. And I have a coworker. He's awesome. Okay, he comes to my office on a regular basis. Hey, I'm going to Subway. You want me to bring you a sandwich? Hey, I'm going to the Chinese place. You want me to pick you up something on the way? No, I don't. No, I don't want you to pick me up nothing. You know why? That's $15. I don't have $15 for you to eat when I can feed myself and my husband for a full 5-day work week for $15. Okay, so definitely meal plan, meal prep, and try to prepare your meals at home as much as possible. CJ, I'm not playing with you. Stay out of brunch. Okay, I know brunch is hot. And I know you like to eat fancy, but we can't eat fancy all the time. Okay, so remember, we are definitely wanting to watch our dollars when it comes along to how much money we're spending on food. Can I be honest with you, everybody? When I've been reviewing people's budgets that people have been sending in to me, their budgets, when I've been reviewing it, do you know the very first place that you can save the most money? It's in food. People are spending an astronomical amount of money on food. And I know I'm talking about this for a long period of time, but we're spending like 4 times as much as we need to spend on food every month. And it's kind of ridiculous. It really is. Now, I'm not saying everybody got to go start a garden in their backyard. Why? Because it's hard. I tried that. It didn't work. I didn't grow anything. I tried it for 3 years and I failed each year. Matter of fact, my neighbor came over. Some of y'all know Harry, my neighbor. He came over and tried to help. the food still didn't grow. Okay, his yard full of vegetables, mine barren. So growing the vegetables is not for everybody. You know who can grow vegetables real well? First Lady from New Life. If y'all want some tips on how to grow vegetables, ask First Lady. I can't give you those tips. But what I can do is tell you to cook at home, because that's the tip that I can give you. Package your food and take it with you to work. Amen? Amen. Okay, so food, 10% max. 5% is ideal. Okay? Next, we want to pay for transportation, because you actually have to get to your job. Okay, transportation should be no more than 10% of your income. What does that include? That includes your car payment, if you have one. That includes your gasoline as well. And that also includes your maintenance. What do I mean by maintenance? Oil change. You got to have one every 3 to 6 months. So that needs to be a part of your budget. Don't be surprised that you need an oil change. That's not a shock. You need that. So we're going to go ahead and put it in the budget. Okay. You know what else is not a surprise? Tires. You need those. Every however many thousands of miles, I don't know what it is, but every couple of years, you need to replace your tires. Why? Because ice happens and you don't want to be driving in ice on bald tires. That's dangerous. So you got to plan for tires. What else? Tune-ups, that's a thing. What else is a thing with cars? There's some car people on here that know what else goes along with that. I pretty much stop at oil changes and tires. That's about all I know. But regardless, you know, the older your car, the more you need to put to the side for maintenance on your vehicle. Okay? And the little nice people at the shop will give you a printout of everything that's wrong with your car. I find it obnoxious. Okay? Probably because we had older vehicles and every time we went to go get a something on the car, the people at the desk would print out these multiple page lists of everything that was dying on our car and what we needed to replace. They used to make Chris mad. Christopher would be like, I don't need you to tell me everything that's wrong with my car. I know what's wrong with the car. Don't tell me, just fix this or fix the oil or fix whatever he went in there for. But the thing is, even though that was kind of funny and annoying, that list helps you budget out your upcoming cost for your car. So if that little list, that little printout that they give you when you go get your oil change, if it tells you that in 5,000 miles you need a tune-up, then you need to start planning for that tune-up now. How do you do that? You ask the little man behind the counter, sir, how much is a tune-up? He'll tell you it's $400. You get mad on the inside, and then you start budgeting out the $400 so that you have it when it's time to go and get the tune-up. Why are we putting this much effort into it? Because you don't want to have to put it on a credit card. You don't want to be shocked. You don't want to be surprised by these purchases. This is called planned preventive maintenance. Every business in America that has equipment has what's called a planned and preventive maintenance schedule for their equipment. Guess what? You are a business. Remember, I told you in the first stream, you got to put your CEO cap on. Okay, Devin's husband is on here, Curtis. Devin coined the phrase CEO mom. Okay, so all you moms and dads out there, you got to put your CEO hat on, and you have to think about every system in your house as just that, a system. And all of these systems have preventive maintenance schedules, and you've got a budget for that preventive maintenance schedule. Right now, we're talking about the car. Use the little printout thing that the man gives you when you go to the Jiffy Lube or when you go to the what? The Dobbs. The people at Dobbs, they'll tell you what's wrong, and use them so that you can budget for your future costs. Okay? Again, transportation should cost no more than 10% of your income. Okay? Next, utilities. That includes everything. I put everything under utilities. Okay? That includes lights, electric, gas, as like if you have gas to your home, water, trash, sewer, phone. Okay, who still got a house phone? If you got a house phone, that's included. But most people nowadays just have cell phones. Okay, no shade if you got a house phone, do you, as long as you can afford it. But cell phone is included in utility. What else do I lump all in the utility category? Anything else that's to your house that is specific for your family situation. For instance, if you have a security system, that's included in utilities. Okay, so all of that is under the umbrella of utility. That should be no more, again, than 10% of your income. Next, insurance. We're going to sit and park at insurance for a while. Out of the vast majority of the budgets that I receive from people that have been inboxing them to me and asking questions about budgets, almost every single one of them left off insurance. Okay, we need to have insurance. If you do not have life insurance, I can't say this enough. Please call your local State Farm, Country Financial, give me somebody, Allstate, Progressive. Call them. All of them sell insurance. Call whoever you have your automobile insurance with and get some life insurance. Okay, we're going to have one whole show on just insurance and how to purchase insurance and the different types of insurance, because the insurance industry is very tricky. I was a licensed insurance agent, so they gave me the secrets behind insurance and the cost and how they cost it out and how they bill you for it. So I'm going to give you the inside information that I have on the insurance industry on an upcoming show. So life insurance, what else is covered there? Home insurance, car insurance is covered under transportation. Okay, so that's separate from this insurance category. Everything regarding your car is under transportation. Okay, so separate from that, we have home, life, health insurance. Okay, if you have a business, you need to have insurance on your business, and that's something that we can talk about separately. But right now, we're just going to talk about personal finance. Okay, so why do I include health insurance? A lot of people get their health insurance through their employer, and it is directly debited from your check. It's a part of your gross income. It's not a part of your net income. You still need to know how much that costs. You need to look at it, because some people simply cannot afford the insurance that comes from their job. If it is too costly, there are other options for you that you may want to explore outside of the insurance that is offered by your employer. That's why I include health insurance in this area. Also, not everybody has health insurance from their employer. Okay, there are a lot of part-time employees that are on this stream right now. Okay, the gig economy is a real thing. Y'all know what I mean when I say gig economy? That's Uber drivers of America. Okay, the part-time economy, meaning people having 2 and 3 part-time jobs in order to make ends meet. I'm an employer, so I know the benefit to the employer of having part-time employees. The main benefit is I don't have to offer you health insurance. It sucks, but it's the reality. So for the part-time employee, they also have to factor in their own outside health insurance costs. Not everybody qualifies for Medicaid. Those that do, your health insurance costs will be zero. Still write it down, because you need to get into the habit of factoring in the cost of insurance. Even if it's zero, get in the habit of looking at it, because you won't always be on Medicaid. And I don't want you to be shocked like I was at the price of insurance. I was hot when I realized how expensive health insurance is. So you definitely want to take that under consideration. Okay. Next, we get to the other category. Okay, that's the other necessities of life, and that should be no more than 5% of your income. So what do I mean by other? Entertainment, clothes, personal items, TV, cable, direct TV, internet, okay, subscription services like Netflix. What else is a subscription service? Blue Apron is a subscription service. Let's see, like magazines, if people are still subscribing to those, that is a subscription service. So any type of subscription service that you have a membership to. Gym memberships is something that's also included under other. Dates, going out, gifts, okay, parties. Y'all know I like to have a party at the house. Hmm? Lots of you all have been to some of the parties at my house. A lot of you all. And we like to have fun. We like to entertain, but we have to do that within a budget. So how do we entertain in a budget? Potluck. Bring a dish, please. We can hang out, but I need you to contribute, okay? Because it is expensive to entertain. So we want to make sure that we can do this in a way that everybody can afford to be a part. All right. Next, all of those things that are not the necessities to run a household, those are the things that are covered under the other category, okay? But see, there's some stuff under here that you actually need. Clothing, that's an actual necessity, and especially if you have children. But see, you have 5% of your income to plan for these purchases. So just make sure that you budget out that 5%. Here's the reality. Kids grow. So we've got to plan for their growth. I know I told y'all a couple of months ago how shocked I was at how fast Julian's foot was growing. He's grown astronomically over this past year. But the reality of the situation is, because I realized that the child is going to grow eventually, I've got a plan for that in my other category. So the month of back to school is a month that we can't go out to eat. Why? Because Julian and Ducky both need some stuff to go to school. So back to school supplies. If you are in school to further your education, your school supplies are covered under this category as well. So those things that are not 100% necessary to the functioning of your household are the things that are covered under the other category. Okay? Next, debt repayment. Debt repayment is at 10%. Okay, so I'm going to go over all of those things very, very quickly. Once again, because if you have your pencil and paper, you can jot it all down. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a second to, just in case you need to pick your pencil and paper back up. While I do that, I want to give a shout out to Sheena. My cousin Claudette is on here. I see Tanya is on here. LaDonna, my friend LaDonna, how you doing, girl? Heidi, my neighbor, is on here. My cousin James is on here. And Tracy, my homie, I miss you in Nebraska. Hold it down in Nebraska. Tracy is on here as well. Okay, so once again, from the top, housing, 25 to 30%, giving, 10%, saving, 10%, food, 10% max, 5% is ideal. Transportation, 10%. Utilities, including phone, electric, water, sewer, trash, all utilities, 10%. Insurance, 5%. That includes home or renter's insurance. I neglected to say that. Not everybody owns a home. If you do not own a home and you are renting from a landlord, you need renter's insurance to cover your personal possessions. If there is an act of God, like a earthquake, tornado, hurricane, it was just a bunch of hurricanes. There's another one brewing right now. All of those act of gods, those are covered by renter's insurance. If there's a fire in the dwelling, I guarantee you your landlord has insurance on the property, but that insurance does not cover your stuff. That insurance only covers the property itself. It covers the dwelling and the parcel of land. It does not cover the contents inside that does not belong to the landlord. Okay, so once again, renters, it is important that you have renters insurance just in case there is some type of tragic situation and you need to have your items replaced. Okay, home, car is under transportation. Home, life, health, that is under insurance, and that's 5%. Other, 5% max, that includes entertainment, clothes, personal items, kids, all that stuff. That's included under the 5% of the other categories. So sporting teams, okay, you guys know we were a part of the Mascoutah Little Indians for years. Dashers track team we're coming back next year. We've decided. I'm so excited. Dashers track team, the swimming that the kids are a part of. The kids do tennis. They're doing basketball. All of that has got to be under that 5%. And guess what? When you hit that 5% max, you need to tell little Johnny and little Susie, tell little whoever she is and whoever he is, no, we can't do it. We're done. You're going to have to find a free activity, like outside. It's available. Okay. You know what else is a free activity? Church. Go to the children's choir. It's available too. Shout out to all the children's ministries out there providing good activities for your children to do that are free to you. Okay, all you got to do is volunteer and help out. It's free. Next, debt repayment. That's 10%. Okay, so does everybody have that? Let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you have it, so I know that you guys all have it, and we can go on to the next section of our training tonight. Okay, I'm getting a lot of thumbs up, so I'm going to move on to our next section of training. So I want to put some hard numbers on this, okay, because I just talked in abstract, and I want to make sure that we can put some hard numbers to this so that everybody can have a better idea in their minds of what this will look like. Okay, so if you make $2,000 a month, okay, I know some people make more than that. I know some people make less than that, but I'm going to just take $2,000 a month because that's a nice mid-range of the median household income in the African American community, the median household income. So I'm picking $2,000 a month. Okay, so if you make more, just adjust your math. Okay, so if you make $2,000 a month, going off of those figures that we just reviewed together as a group, let's review how much you'll be paying in these different categories. Okay, the children are back. Simba is now in the room. Julian, wave hello.
Hello, everybody.
All righty. Can you take the dog with you so Mommy can finish the stream?
Sure.
Thank you so much. All right. Okay, so if you make $2,000 a month, enjoy the free dance from Julian. Your housing should be a max of $600 a month. Okay? It's okay. Your housing should be a max of $600 a month. Your giving should be $200 a month. Your savings should be $200 a month. Okay? Food, $200 a month. That means you get $50 a week to buy groceries. Let's break that down. Again, at $50 a week, we're not going out. Okay, there is no meet me at Applebee's at $50 a week. At $50 a week, we make an Applebee's at home. I remember when I was little, I used to ask my mama on the way home from school and work, I used to say, Mama, can we go to McDonald's? And she'd be like, no, we're going to McSharon's. Her name is Sharon. I was hurt. I was so hurt. And I would ask all the time, Mama, can we go to McDonald's? No, we're going to Sharon's Kitchen. She named it Sharon's Kitchen and would be all excited about it and would try to make me all excited about the home burgers. Y'all remember that Eddie Murphy stand-up comedy routine where he was talking about the home burgers with the big onion pieces and the big green peppers hanging all out the burger, and it was on toast and not on regular buns? That was me, okay? And I was mad. But the reality of the situation is my mama stayed within her budget. And even now, the children will be like, Ma, can we go to Wendy's? No, we're going to Christina's Kitchen and you're going to get this chili that I made. Or you're going to get, and if we out of money for that week, guess what you eating? Oatmeal. You're going to make it. You're not going to die. You got sustenance in your body. Beans are always available. Saints, stop buying steak if you don't have steak money. Beans are available and they are an excellent source of protein. Okay, vegetables don't cost as much as you think they do. And if you can figure out how to grow them, I haven't figured that out yet. They're almost free if you can figure that out. Okay, so we just have to realign our mindset when it comes to how much money we're spending in this area. Okay, next, transportation should be no more than $200 a month. So that means your car payment can't be more than $100 a month if you make $2,000 a month. Okay, why? Because you still need to fuel your vehicle and you need to put insurance on your vehicle and you need to plan for your preventive maintenance. Okay, so if you know that your car, excuse me, if you know that your car, you can't find one for a price that's within your budget, then we're going to have to look at some creative solutions. Okay, maybe carpooling for a while you save up a little bit of money, public transportation for a while you save up a little bit of money. Okay, public transportation does exist. It is very useful, and if you have it in your area, I would strongly encourage you to use it if you can use it. There was a period of time we had 2 cars, but we still used public transportation. Christopher used the train to get back and forth to work because it was still cheaper than driving into the city every day and paying a park. So you just have to use wisdom and make the best financial decision that you can make for this particular category in your budget. Next, utilities, $200. Okay, insurance, that's $100. Okay, now I know y'all saying you can't buy no life insurance for $100 a month. Yes, you can. You can get a term life insurance policy for $100,000 for probably $8 or $9 a month max, depending on your age and your health. Okay, you can get a $350,000 life insurance policy for under $15 a month. Ask me how I know. Because I got one, okay? And it is literally less than a pizza. So please get some life insurance. Again, that's how generational wealth is built. Wealth is transferred through insurance, through life insurance, okay? Next, your other category. That's your fun category with all of the bells and whistles in it. If you make $2,000 a month, your other category is $100 a month. And debt repayment is $200 a month. Okay, so now let's play with these categories a little bit. Let's get a little fancy, okay? Because say your debt repayment is more than $200 a month. Okay, then if that's the case, you need to move around the other categories so that you can have more money to put in the debt repayment category. What do I mean by that? I just tweaked a couple of the categories just to see what we can get. Okay, so let's look at a couple of the tweak categories together. And while we do that, I'll give a couple of more shout outs. Miss Fawn is on here. The pastors, Pastor Shay, Pastor Ralph are on here. Hey, AJ is on here. Miss Levita, hello. Rocky, my sister. Tramisha, I love you. Kiss my nieces. Christina Cooper is here. Miss Tangela. Hello, everybody. Hey, Miss LaDonna is on here as well. Miss LaDonna Tunstall is on here as well. So hello, welcome to Money Mondays. So let's adjust these categories a little bit so that we can have more money for debt repayment, okay? So if we took savings from 10% to 5%, you could take your debt repayment from 10% up to 15%. I only suggest you do that if the rate of return on your savings plan is less than the APR on your instrument of debt. What do I mean by that? If your interest rate on your credit card is 15.99%, that's the most common APR, 15.99%, and the interest that you're making on your savings account is 0.2%, makes more money, makes more sense for you to cut your savings in half temporarily and put that other 5% on debt repayment. Why? Because your debt is costing you an additional 15.99% each month. So you want to get rid of that as quickly as possible. Then you take that money back and put it back in savings as soon as you get rid of that debt. Okay. Next. How you doing, Jonathan? Next. If you take your other category instead of having it at 10%, and you move that one down to 5%, then you can take your debt from 15%, where we just added. Remember, we just added 5% from savings. We're going to add another 5% now from other. Now you're up to 20% for your debt repayment, okay? So now we've gone from $200 a month on debt repayment up to $400 a month on debt repayment. We're starting to look pretty now, right? That's starting to look a little good, okay? Next, we're going to take our transportation. We're going to look at our transportation. If we can take that from 10% down to 5% and put that last 5% on debt repayment, we've now gone from 10 to 15 with a little money from savings. And then we've gone from 15 to 20 with a little money from the other category. If we take some money from the transportation category, we can go from 20 to 25%, okay? So that means you've gone from $200 of debt repayment all the way up to $500 of debt repayment. Last but not least, if you can take some money from your housing category, okay, so if you can go from 30% down to 25% in your housing category, you can go from 25% in debt repayment up to 30%. What does that look like? That looks like $600 a month in debt repayment for somebody that makes $2,000 a month. Okay, if you could harness 600 of your dollars each month in your debt repayment strategy, you will get out of debt. Say that with me. You will get out of debt. And I know that this can be done, but the only way that you'll be able to do this is if you make the hard choices of debt repayment. Okay, hey, Miss Benita, I just saw that you joined too, and AJ. So I want to make sure that I'm very, very clear here with the categories and how you can adjust them and play with them in order to make the maximum impact that you can make in your debt repayment strategy. The goal here for your categories is not to hit the max. Okay, that's why it's called max. So any percentage that you can skim off the top there, you want to skim it off and put that over in the debt repayment category. Even if you can't skim it off each month. Say, for instance, one month, my mama, felt like blessing me. And she cooked a couple of times that month. And I could save a little bit of money in that food category that month. Okay. Well, maybe this month I can save 2% in my food category because my mama cooked something. Or maybe my stepmom, Brenda, cooked something. And I can save a little bit of money there. Then I can take that extra 2% that month and put it over in the debt repayment month. That 2% still counts. Each percentage point still counts. So anywhere you can shave off the top of one of those categories, please do so that you can impact your debt repayment category. Okay? Next, I want to remind you, please don't ever forget to forego savings. Even if the interest rate is low, even if you're only saving 5%, don't ever forego your savings. Because at the end of the day, you got you and Jesus, okay? And you've got to have some money to fall back on. You have got to have a cushion. Why? You're trying to repay your debt, but if you have no cushion to fall back on, then you're going to quickly go back into debt again, okay? Because that means you're going to rely on a credit card to pay for those for those preventive maintenance type of situations that pop up instead of relying on the little buffer of savings that you have, okay? Also, preventive maintenance is not just for your car. I know I mentioned car and kind of harped on transportation for a while, but it's also for your house. What do I mean? When you get a house, your house comes with a roof. Right? I hope. Don't buy that house if it don't come with a roof. But your house comes with a roof. When you get an inspection on that home, The inspector will tell you how many years is left on that roof. That is, if you got a good inspector. If your inspector didn't tell you how old your roof was and how many years you have left on your roof, ask him to tell you, okay? Because that means they're cheating you on that inspection, okay? So you want to make sure that you count that in your housing cost. Okay, so if I know that my house is 5 years old, okay, I have a 30-year roof on this house. That means that I have 25 years to plan for the cost of a roof. How much does a roof cost? Approximately $20,000 to replace a roof. So that means I've got 25 years to save $20,000. That means each year I need to save somewhere around $1,000. Okay, I need to save about $800 a year to put towards my roof, because in 25 years I've got to replace it. Okay, so that's what I mean by housing. Housing is not just how much you pay in your mortgage. It's not just how much you pay for rent. It's also the preventive maintenance that comes along with it. Okay, your plumbing will have to be replaced eventually. So that means just put a little bit of money to the side, $20 here, $20 there for your pipes, because you know Roto-Rooter will be at your house eventually, won't they? Yes. And if you have a child like mine who flooded our bathroom within the first 2 months that we were here, Roto-Rooter may be at your house sooner than you expect. Okay, I'm going to answer a couple of questions that I see in here. Tanya asked what company. I think she may have been referring to my life insurance that I mentioned. We get our life insurance through the company that we get our automobile insurance with. At first, we had our automobile insurance through State Farm, and then we switched over to Country Financial. Okay, Country beat State Farm's rates pretty handsomely. I had been with State Farm since I was 16 and bought my first car. Been with State Farm since then, but they couldn't beat Country's rates. So I had to say bye, because I'm not here to build State Farm's empire. I'm here to build the Anderson family's empire. So we switched over to Country, and that's where we have our life insurance, okay? And again, I'm going to do a whole show on insurance, because I want to make sure that we are all properly insured. Next, Miss Tina asks, where do we include tithes? And Joy is absolutely correct. We include it under the giving category, okay? That's why I started it at 10%. It's included under the giving category. If you can give more than 10%, please do so by all means, okay? But your basic, the training wheels of giving is tithes, and that's the 10%, okay? And I just have to say, y'all know that I be a preaching and teaching, and I just got to say, the Lord can do more with your 90% than you could ever do with your 100%. Give your tithes, pay your tithes, just go on and do it. Okay, if you need somebody to talk to you one-on-one and help you get to the point where you can give your tithes, please let me know. I am willing to have that conversation with you, because I am a living witness that God can do more with your 90 than you could ever do with your 100. How you doing, Auntie Wendy? Okay, so definitely give your tithes. Any more questions, please put them in the feed so that I can answer them as we go along. Okay. Next, credit. Let's kind of park here. We've got a couple of more minutes left, and I want to define something that I said earlier. Earlier, I said the phrase debt instrument. What does that mean? That means any tool that you have acquired debt with. That is a debt instrument. Okay. Now, when we are looking at our budgets and when we get to the debt repayment portion, what I want you to do is list all of your debts, okay? You're going to list each and every credit card. You're going to list student loans in there. You're going to list any personal loans. You're going to list the money your mama gave you or the money your grandmama gave you and your grandmama told you don't tell your mama. List that in there. Pay your grandmama back, okay? So you're going to list all of that, and you're going to rank them, okay? You're going to rank them by APR. That's the interest rate on that debt instrument, regardless of what that instrument is. Okay. And when you rank them, that's how you determine the order in which you repay it. Okay. Does that make sense? And we're going to get into that a little bit deeper next week when we start talking about debt repayment. That's our topic next week. But I want to give you your homework assignment. Take that budget that you already prepared, review it again in light of the percentages that I gave you guys tonight. And I'm going to run through them one more time before we hop off on tonight, okay? So you're going to take your budget that you have, you're going to readjust your budget based off of the percentages that we reviewed tonight. And when you get to the debt category, you're going to list your debts out and you're going to rank them by APR. Highest interest rate at the top, lowest interest rate at the bottom. That's your order of repayment. Okay, you're going to repay the most expensive loan first because it's sucking up all of your money. And then we're going to repay everything else. Okay, and I'm going to explain that in full when we hop on next week. Okay, again, one more thing that I want to say. If you look at your budget and your percentages are out of whack, then it's time to start asking some hard questions. What are those questions? Those questions are, what needs to be cut off in order for me to be properly balanced in my budget? Okay, so for instance, in that other category, if you've got some subscriptions in that other category and your other category is really eating up 20% of your budget, then there's some things that you need to cut off. Okay, so perhaps it's time to cut off Netflix and ask somebody if you can borrow. I didn't say that out loud. Okay, ask somebody, help the community. If you can't afford your Netflix subscription, you're gonna have to ask somebody else. Okay, what else? If you have cable and your other category is too expensive, it's time to explore cutting that off. If you've got whatever it is that you've got that you've spent your money on in excess, we're going to have to make those hard choices now that we are looking at our categories and we're trying to make sure that our budget is in line with best practices. Okay. Next, I also want to encourage you to not fudge your budget, because it's easy for us to put a real good fudgy budget together. Say it with me, fudgy budget. You don't want one of those. That's not helpful. Okay, so if you are concerned about that, what I encourage people to do is take a month and track literally each expense. That got on my nerves when I did it. I'm trying to let you know now. I'm just asking you to do something that's going to irk your whole soul. But it is important for you to do because fudgy budgets don't work. Okay? So that means keep yourself a little journal in your car. Keep a little notebook. Something that I do is I keep Post-it notes because it's easy to stick on the back of my cell phone. So if I buy something, I can just jot it down real quick. Or you can keep your receipts and like pull them all together at the end of the week. However you choose to do it. I'm a Post-it person, so I do mine on Post-its. That may not be the best, but you have to do what works for you, okay? And track how much you're spending each month so that you know for sure that you're not fudging the categories in your budget, because it doesn't help you at all to say, I'm only spending 9% on food when you go into Wendy's every day, or when you're going to Hardee's every day, or Chick-fil-A, and God bless Chick-fil-A and those chicken minis. You know, the struggle is real trying to stay up out of there with those chicken minis, but you got to stay out if you are over in your food category. So you want to make sure that you're using actual hard data when you're putting your budget together. And if anybody has any questions about that, definitely just inbox me and let me know. Okay. Shout out to Delana and Jen who joined us. Guys, if you haven't looked at week 2, as we're getting into budgets, I need you to look at week 2, because week 2 was all about the mindset shift. Okay, going through this exercise will not help if your mindset is not ready to cut, because this is a cutting exercise. We're getting ready to cut out some unnecessary expenses. So your mind shift has to be ready, okay? We had over 900 people view last week between the 3 streams. We're almost at 1,000 people. So I know that you guys are watching. I know that you guys are sharing it out. God bless you for sharing it out to other people. We so very much appreciate it. The first week is at almost 1,600 views. So God bless you guys for sharing it out. Please share this week out as well so that people can get as much help as possible battling this financial war that we're in, so that we can make sure that we are living our best lives financially. Okay, so next week we are talking about debt repayment. But you have to have your budget in order for us to talk about debt repayment strategies, okay? So come with your pen, your paper, and your budget, so that the strategies that we talk about, you can begin to make plans to execute on them right then and right there, okay? Again, we will be together, what time? 7 o'clock. What day? Money Monday. Tell everybody you know. And again, the song that was playing at the top of the broadcast today was Beautiful by BJ Putnam. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. Let everybody you know about it, so that we can help as many people as possible find financial freedom. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good evening.